New haircut. Oh,
Okay. Wait. No.
Now we can hear you. We can hear you, Ani, but
okay.
okay.
No, we didn't hear you, but
No?
now yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, I took a nap and I didn't even brush my hair.
But you have a new haircut, so you don't need to brush your hair.
You want to show it off.
There we go.
Okay.
Video. Turn over.
Hi,
Brad, what's up,
Brad.
man?
Hello.
Ani's making a special presence in Portugal.
Yes,
Now we
It's
have only
just-
4 hours difference, right?
exactly. I think this is the last weekend or like the last week. Sorry. And after that, we're going to change to daylight saving as well. Then it's going to be I think next weekend. Oh, yeah, something. No, maybe this weekend. So then it's going to be a little bit harder at midnight.
Yes.
Oh man.
But,
Yeah.
but now it's 11. Well, we'll see if if I abandon the ship at some
You
point.
still got time. We'll finish the meeting. You can still hit a bar afterwards. There's still a little
Yeah,
time.
right. No, still a
all
sort of lockdown here, but and I live on the farm, so the bar should be pretty far from here. But I did have a couple of glasses of wine with dinner, so
Hey, that
I
counts.
might be merrier than usual.
That's hard to beat that.
Okay, she said she doesn't see it.
Ooh. Hold on. All right. Who did we say?
Erika doesn't see the link. She cannot.
Tell her to check her
I
email.
told her Gmail.
Oh, I didn't send it to her.
It should be a prerequisite for some of our meetings when we have to brainstorm together. Okay, everyone have a nice glass of wine and then come to the meeting. And we're gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We usually
Or like during meeting. Mm,
Or during the meeting, even. Wow. Yeah. Brad, to answer a
we
question,
do. We,
there is an agenda, and
Yeah, I thought I looked at Miro and I didn't realize the last meeting was meeting 7, right?
yeah, last meeting.
Somehow I thought it was 8, and then there wasn't, there wasn't a new box for.
Yeah.
we actually thought the same when I was doing the YouTube video. I first wrote 8 and then I'm like,
Did you get it?
7.
Okay, she's getting it. I see it. So yeah, I think we're gonna have time. Like the agenda is kind of long tonight, but I think we're gonna be able to go through some of these items very fast. So I wouldn't worry. Calvin, what's up, man?
Hey, things
Also-
are going good. I'm healthier now.
Oh, good
special
to hear.
No, were you
appearance.
sick?
Hi,
Good to
Calvin.
see everyone. Hey.
Yeah, he was not feeling so good last week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
You better
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, who knows what it was? If it was just like heavy allergies or I had a cold or I had both, I don't know. But it's gone, so I'm
good.
good now.
Here. Okay, let me just
good.
Not the worst thing
everyone
that could
else.
happen.
try to get.
Got this. Let's see.
Oh, and while we're setting up or maybe waiting for folk, I'll update y'all. I've watched from video meeting number 4, and I got over halfway through last meeting. I didn't catch all the
Binge
way
watch
up,
them.
but I'm almost there.
No, you're good. I think you're good, man. I think I don't unless someone else disagrees, but
On the like fast forward mode or the record?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
That on
I-
YouTube, I
Really
definitely
good.
used the speed
Yeah.
up. Yep.
That's good homework right there.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think I missed one meeting, or like the meeting number 2, and I never went back to it.
honey.
Honey, bye now.
I know. Oh yes, I'm tan. Yesterday I was yesterday I was in Spain. Today I'm in Portugal. But I was on the seaside in Tarifa, and I was there for a couple of hours in the sun.
Wow.
Just answering Erica's message on the chat. Oh, it was directly to me. Sorry. was like direct message.
Okay, well, so Jennifer is supposed to do, I believe, the icebreaker. Let me triple check.
And Adam is not there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just, I think Jennifer's the one.
Maybe also they cannot enter the link. I wonder.
And Russell.
I mean,
And Russell sometimes.
Russell sent me a message. He always says he's a little late sometimes with the kids and stuff. He said, so sometimes it's hard for him. And Jennifer said she was going to come up with a good icebreaker today. So I have to come up with the on the fly.
We also we are.
Adam said Zoom isn't cooperating for me right now. Weird. Okay, hold on. Let me send him a link here.
Oh yeah, the link in Miro I think was from last week for a while.
Okay. Weird.
Not me. I mean, maybe that's. I don't know if that's really the thing he's hooked up on, but.
But it's I think it should be the same link. Anyway.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there's like just a repeating thing on.
Oh, we got Russell.
Okay, maybe.
Russell's here? Okay, cool. What was that?
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hello,
Russell,
hello.
what's up, buddy?
Oh, we need to start recording. When?
Yeah, it's already recording on my
Mhm.
Cool.
Cool. Okay. Okay, well, maybe because Jennifer's still out, if anyone has a fun icebreaker they can break out on the fly, you can give it a shot.
I do have one from another
yeah?
group. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Nice.
All right. I'm gonna do it just like I did in the other group. So you're gonna do something different here. It's
Okay.
much like Miro, so it's not that unique for all y'all, but it should be interesting. I'll put a link in the chat. It's gonna have a drawing board, and what I did at the last icebreaker was write out your favorite animal related phrase. And then we just kind of went around and talked about them if you wanted to. So, and why do I have it on a drawing board? Because if you have extra time, you draw the animal or however it relates to the phrase.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
So this is a Google drawing board.
Oh, cool. I'm never used to it.
And then if you want to freehand draw, it's at the bottom of the line tool. So you hit the drop down, you hit scribble, and you can freehand draw something.
Okay.
Do we just pick a corner?
Yeah, just pick a zone.
Oh,
Use the text box to write out your animal related phrase. I'll delete my little thing.
This animal?
No, you can put you put your own phrase.
Yeah,
Right.
but where's the animal?
No, you have to create it. You're writing your own with the own sound that represents you.
So I'll give a clue just so that it, oh no, you guys got it. There we go.
We're a pretty hip crowd here. We
Nice.
get we.
That's a good one.
Totally.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
That's not mine.
Oh. I moved my drawing. There we go.
It's
Oh. Oh wait, I did not understand it.
I don't think I understood it much.
Is it a sound an animal makes, or is it a?
It was an animal
Common
related
phrase.
phrase, but however you did it.
I see.
Meow.
Oh. Well, I drew one very fast.
having a little meeting. The co-op store. I go downstairs. Oh, gonna be.
Adam, what's up, buddy? Adam, Calvin put a link in the chat, and we are using that link in the chat to put an animal phrase, right? A phrase from an animal, and if you want, you can draw the animal as well.
Which one?
Did I describe it correctly, Calvin?
Yeah, like an animal-related phrase is how I worded it. Yeah.
Can you copy it again into the chat?
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't look
So
like
it
it
doesn't give you the history.
backlog. Yeah. Ooh.
I like sharing this program just in case, like me, you got a niece or a nephew that wants to hang out and like doodle together.
Yeah,
It's
that's
kind of
good.
fun.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi, Jen.
So then while people are finishing up, we can talk about the ones that are done and then go around and hopefully not, take up too much of the proper meeting time. I like the Sly Like a Fox one, and great drawing, by the way.
Yeah.
And this is not going well.
Yeah.
Calvin, I didn't get any love for my drawing. Jeez.
Well, tell me about it. Tell me.
So I quickly sketched this. It's a little rough, that bird. I did, not my best work of art, but but yeah, the early bird catches the worm.
There it is. That is a good phrase. I'm rereading a sleep book, and it argues through some studies that there are people who are inherently more night owls, and then they're inherently more morning lark is what it's called over in the UK, I guess. So there's like a push and a pull for like when work time should start and when sleep time is, depending on if you're one or the other or somewhere in between.
Got it.
We are doing
Jennifer, we sent a link on the chat. Maybe you want to add your animal phrase and a drawing that maybe represents it if you want to add a drawing. All right, Calvin?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was just a little tomfoolery, a little fun, and you get to share a phrase that you like.
Anyone else want to go?
Where?
There's a share. Let me share their picture.
I didn't
Or-
know
or
any animal
text?
phrase. I just wrote it.
Who drew the fox?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was me.
Wow.
Love it.
Ooh. It
Pretty
looks
good.
like
Very
Cat
good.
from Tom and Jerry.
Even the dog's good. These are all
Who-
great. What is this, babe? Ula, what did you draw?
An elephant throwing actually garbage to the
Nice.
garbage bin. I recently watched
Nice.
a YouTube video. Somebody recorded accidentally an elephant was somewhere and it was picking up garbage and throwing it into the garbage bin.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
That's amazing.
I don't really know where my phrase is from. Every dog has its day. I just know that it's like, I can just imagine like an actor saying in a movie.
Yeah.
Mine is in Spanish and it's feliz como lombriz, and it means happy as an earthworm. But it just
It's an
Oh.
earthworm.
Where's the earthworm?
lombriz. Yeah.
Lombriz.
So I think Ula was hoping you were gonna draw your earthworm.
He dropped
I
it.
couldn't draw for a reason. I was trying to, but I couldn't do it.
What's this one?
My computer doesn't seem to be cooperating.
Aw,
I
damn.
don't think I can add on.
Yes.
Jennifer, do you have
great
one you want
worm.
to share with us?
An animal related phrase?
Yeah.
I can think of one. Let's see.
Oh, I know.
I was drawing a blank for a good, how long have we been, like a good 5 minutes. Took me a while.
Did you got one though? Which one was yours?
I was the top early bird gets the worm, which I think I
Oh.
typed first. I don't want to
Oh man, sorry, I didn't even see
judging or
that. But
anything.
yeah,
No, that's fine. You know,
just-
whatever.
yeah.
Steal my
Oh, I
idea.
should have drawn the worm between two of you. Or the bird.
The two of you.
Cool.
Curious like a cat. There we go.
Still drawing.
I love
Adam, is
it.
that you with the dog? We can't hear you, Adam, if you can hear us.
Oh, I just heard my name. Someone say something.
Yeah, is that you with the dog one?
Yeah, that's me.
Looks like Gretel.
Oh, I didn't draw that. No. I
The
upper
phrase.
This one is yours.
yeah, upper right phrase is mine, or almost upper. Yeah.
Aw, I like that phrase.
Yeah. Totally.
Cool. So just to be mindful of time, we always have a lot to do, and I'm the facilitator today. So quickly reviewing the agenda. So yeah, icebreaker. We're gonna do like the commitments update. That's Erica and me. That's like regarding like timing and or more not the timing, but more just like how we're tracking stuff, and then also feedback. Then Russell and I also are going to do shared objective update. After that, Adam is going to give us an update on the mission statement. It says on the current agenda where next and to-do list, but I think we also wanted to try to do the business model canvas. I know Brad was working on it, and I think it got missed somehow on this agenda. So I think we want to make some time for that. And if anyone else has anything they would like to add to the agenda, is there something you'd like to be added? Anybody? Or you want me to repeat that list? I kind of went through quickly.
Yes. Did you mention that we just want to make a quick Miro demonstration?
No, I don't. It wasn't on here. And yeah, you're right. You guys wanted to do that. So did you guys want to do that in the beginning? I think that's what you guys had planned with Russell?
Yes, yes, please. So it might be helpful during the meeting later on the meeting.
Okay, so why don't you guys can start it unless anyone has any objections. Shall we just let the ladies demonstrate the Miro stuff first? Is that okay? Cool.
Okay. So for now, Ula is going to share her screen, and you can all open your Miro boards, but we're gonna all look at here at the screen on Zoom, and just also like we're speaking about, even though we can collaborate on Miro live, it's always good to share it on our screen for two reasons. So it's there for the meeting recording. So if not, it's just us looking at who knows what. And also because if she wants to show how to do something, it only shows when she's sharing her screen. So like if she's doing something on Miro, like she wants to show you how to do something, then you only see where her cursor is if you're following her, but you don't see what she's actually doing. Okay, thank you, Ulan. So,
Hey.
okay, so here it's, for instance, we can start with this. Here it is offering to hide the highlights and changes. So this is useful. Like if she hides them now, we cannot see. Sometimes it's like really loaded with people looking at stuff or working there. So when you hide the highlights, you cannot see it. Okay, so we thought that we were like watching some videos and practicing, doing some things on Miro, and we thought that we could share a little bit and at the beginning of the meeting until we are all more used to working here or using it. So today we are just going to show you how to use the correct navigation mode, how to log your content when you make a frame. We're gonna see how to upload files and just some quick shortcuts. So first I just wanna mention that it is, in some of the videos that you will see, they promote the presenting on Miro as using the frames as slides. And yes, that can be helpful. However, I find it easier to just use Google Slides, for instance, and make the presentation, and we can upload the presentation here. But for that purpose, I just find it more like easier, basically. So Ula, do you want to show them how to make sure that they're using the correct navigation mode? Because I know some people were having trouble with like navigating on the board.
Well, actually, we realized together by sitting next to each other that supposedly, I mean, it's like your computer is supposed to recognize the navigation mode you are in, but sometimes it may not do it. So it's better to check it. In this card, like Erika described how to do it. So you can quickly read it, and then I show you how it is. So I close this, and so you go to settings, and here you choose navigation mode. And then depending what you are using, mouse or trackpad. So, you know, and then depending on this, you will choose your option, apply, and then it's going to work correctly. Everybody can find it? Do they hear me?
I think so.
If you go on your boards, do you know where to find this option?
Does everyone see it?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Can't talk for everybody.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So we move on to the next one, right?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, I made these cards, and basically, what I did. Maybe you can open the next one, Ula. I just.
So when you have a card here, you click always. When you go with your cursor, you open this, and then we'll expand it.
Yes. So what I did, I went here to the Miro Support Center, and I read a little bit, and I pasted like the most relevant information, but I added the link in case you wanted to see like pictures or they have like extra choices. Just be mindful that some of the choices that they mention are only for the paid plan. So here are the instructions, for instance, for locking your content. So we can close the card, and Ula is going to show you how to lock your content on the board. So when you lock it, everybody can read it, but nobody can move or edit stuff. So that's really helpful when you don't want people like messing around with your board. But then if we want people to participate, then we have to unlock it. Like if everybody is like brainstorming and writing ideas, or when it's open for instance, like for an action item, we should unlock it. Okay.
So you just start from one corner and go over the whole thing. And for some reason, it's not showing. Is this one locked, Erika?
No, it is unlocked. Yeah, it's unlocked. I tried to select it again, and
usually you do it like that.
and
It
then
should show it to you, right?
yeah. Maybe
I don't know why.
yeah. When you selected it, yeah, it was happening before. Remember that
It was
you
actually
had
locked.
to try a couple of times. Yeah.
Oh, so you
There it is.
drag this thing over it. It was actually locked. That's why. And here you have the option to lock it. You can also press Command L or what is Control L, and then it would lock it. If you want to, so this way, as Erika said, everything will stay in place, and people cannot open it. So it's just more for the view. You can also this way. Sorry, this always happens to me. And it happened right now too. You can open with click with 2 fingers, and then you can, for example, paste it somewhere. And now, in order to unlock it, you can click here and unlock it, or show you one more time.
You lock it and then unlock it again.
You can lock it, and also you can press for a long press to unlock it. So you just press it and unlocks it. And yeah, this is a pretty helpful function, because even it happened to us, I think, last time, that in the middle of doing something, people started moving elements.
Yes. Any questions so far? Okay.
All good.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, all good, I said.
Oh, okay. Let me just take a look. Okay, here's something cool. The frames, Ula. So can you show them? Like, this is a picture of the collaboration toolbar, which is actually on the bottom left. And if you click on the part where it says frames, which is like the icon all the way on the left, then you can see all the names of the frames, like to find them more easily. Or if you click on the squares next to the lines, then you see the frames, and you can just go to a frame. This also serves when you want to present something. You can arrange your slides, which are the frames, in the order in which you want to present them. But I don't think I personally wouldn't be using that feature. Okay.
For example, you can drag it and move it up.
Yep.
You can change the order for a reason for presentation, for example, right?
Yes.
So it's really good for organization, because now we still don't have so many elements, but later, once we grow the board, it's going to be like hundreds, and this will be really helpful.
Yeah. Thank you. And then let me see, shortcuts. Okay, yeah. Also to follow a person, like someone's following Ula right now. You click on their avatar. So when you click and then you can follow their cursor. You can see where they go.
Right.
You cannot see what they do though. You can just see where they are. So like if they're writing something, or like Ula shows how to do stuff, you cannot see it. You can just see what they're doing. Sorry, where they are. Okay. So I wanted to mention that
that would be like helpful. I'm assuming when it's like two of us are trying to work on something together, right? In real time, and then if I'm like, maybe me and Adam are working on something, and like he wants to show me something on particularly like a spot on the board, I would just like click on his name. Is that like when you would use something like that, I guess?
Yes, and also like if we're in a meeting and like I want to show you guys something, like if we weren't here in Zoom, if we were like if we were brainstorming something and I want to bring you, or you want to bring you to a frame, then I just ask you to follow me by clicking on my name or my picture.
So it would quickly take you, you know, after her cursor or
Yeah.
somebody's cursor.
Got it.
So again, we are always like, when we're in Zoom, we're always going to be recording what one of us using the board, but if people want to write or something, they are going to be on the actual board, and yeah, you can follow someone like that. Okay, so I probably you noticed I rearranged some of our content just to keep it more organized, and I added some, yeah, you can say labels on top, like those green ones that say how to Miro, or to-do list, or
I
meeting.
will make it smaller so you can see it kind of from far.
Yes, thank you. So when you want to add, like say, another to-do list, just
A little bit.
what you can do is you can duplicate the previous frame. So it's kind of about the same size, like we're doing with the meetings, for instance. They're all the meeting agendas or the meeting board are about the same size, and yeah, it's visually like aesthetic. And it's to duplicate, you just click on the frame. Maybe we can try to duplicate the to-do list, Ula, to show them.
To-do list, yeah, I was looking, where are you? Okay.
Yeah, so you click on the frame. And then I think on the three dots.
The 3 dots.
And duplicate.
Yeah, it's also Command D.
I duplicated the
whole thing.
template. So yeah, you can.
Sorry,
I think you have to click on, because there are two things. There's a frame and the template inside the frame. So I think if you click on the name of the frame, that's.
You can click on to-do list on top.
Yeah.
No.
There, and then it will duplicate.
Oh, nice.
Yes, another way of doing this is if you just want the frame without the template, you go to the left toolbar and you click the frame icon. So it's under the comment icon. The frame, when it looks like a square, yes, yep. And then you put custom. And there you go. You have the same size, and it will keep our boards like organized. Okay. So yeah, and I made one for meetings, and there's a presentations. There's a label for I don't know if you want to scroll down a little for documents or files.
Yeah, one second. So if you actually you don't want to have it, like you can just go back, or Command Z doesn't work all the time for me for some reason. I don't know, but sometimes it works. If not, you can go with this arrow on the top of the screen, and it will take back.
Or if it was done before, like a long time ago, you just click again on the three dots where we put duplicate, and then you just click delete. The three dots on the frame.
On the frame.
Yeah, click again, like, yeah. And then at the bottom, you will have delete. Yep. Okay. And then, yeah, there's one for like files and documents, presentations, and brainstorming at the bottom, etc. And finally, we're gonna show you how to upload a file, and then we have a practice frame in case you want to practice uploading a file, because some files are not supported, and there's other ways you can do it. So. For this one, maybe if we could read the card, like take 5 minutes to read the card, or like 2 minutes, or I don't know. You tell me how long it will be a good time.
Erika, yeah, we're like, you guys are about the 20-minute mark. Just be mindful. So maybe you can. There's some flexibility in the time, but I just want to be mindful.
Okay.
I show it better. Can I just show it instead of practicing?
Oh, Erika, you're muted.
Thank you. Do you want to practice uploading files on your own, and then next meeting we talk about it, because it's gonna take like another 10 minutes to go through this.
Oh, really?
I mean, you can read it.
Yes. Maybe if I can.
Well, why don't we try to do it? I think like we have allotted a little bit of time for some other things that might be a little bit faster. So yeah, if we could just we can try, and then
maybe if you guys can come back to this card and read this on your own. And now I quickly show you how to quickly upload something, because it's kind of useful. But just remember to come back to this card.
we can make it an action item.
It here, yeah. So we go straight to our practice frame. So if we want to upload something, you go to the toolbar on the left side with right here. You open it, and then you can upload from my device, from a URL, from save files, Google Drive, and much more. You can add also things. So just to show you, well, from my device, it's easy. You just click on it, click something. I don't know, I had some screenshots. And it will just upload. I'm not sure what is it. Ah, okay. And then you just, it usually drops somewhere. Let's try something else. So if you want to upload something from URL, you just paste this URL here, whatever you want to. Let's see this, for example, right? It should work.
Just for the record, you have to use Control Command C, Control Command V. The right click doesn't work there if you want to paste something.
Try. I don't know what it'll do. I have no idea.
I wonder. I actually copied the link.
Yeah, I did it.
It did. Our icebreaker.
Cool. Perfect.
And okay, two more quickly. Another thing is from Save Files, Google Drive. So maybe not everybody will be able right away. Sometimes you have to download or right.
For instance, like the forms are not supported by Miro. So if you notice, they look like videos. When I had to manually copy the URL and paste it. It didn't let me do it with Google Drive. So you might have to sometimes use the URL. If it's not supported, you can still see the forms, but they look like videos. So yeah, they're not supported.
I don't know if you just noticed what happened to mine. Like I was trying to upload from Google Drive, and it's Adam's the
feedback form.
The feedback form. So you click and it says the format is not supported. So I think because I don't have access to this file, so if I think Adam or whoever's taking care of it would give me access, I would be able to do it.
I think it's just the Google Forms specifically are not supported because I tried. But I was able to upload like Google Sheets or Google Docs, but just the forms specifically. They haven't maybe upgraded that.
Okay, so to be mindful of the time, you can just, go back to this,
adding files.
Yeah, to all this frame and expand them if you want to learn a little more. Plus, also, Erika, I mean, there's many YouTube videos and tutorials, so you kind of can get overwhelmed. But Erika found this one here, and it's just 27 minutes, and it's like the basics. I recommend to watch it. It can be helpful also and supports all this what we talked about today and a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Mula.
Thank you. So I pass it to the facilitator.
Yeah. Thanks, ladies. Well, I mean, before we let you guys go, does anyone have questions maybe, or anything maybe you guys would like Erika? You just hit stop share. Erika or Ula to share with us next meeting, so we can just make sure we all get the most out of like using Miro and make the best of uses of this app. maybe they can, if there's some particular questions, maybe they can prep and teach us those like particular things for next week.
What are we going to be putting in Miro? Should we try to link to everything we've like mentioned in the meetings? Is that kind of the goal?
Yeah, that's a good question, Brad. I was asking that myself. Like, yes, I think it's a good place to keep like especially our brainstorming there, like our voting seems like a great tool. And I'm just like also think of loading the documents that we all might need, like the forms and everything, just like for a quick access, or like the presentations that we share in a meeting. That just gives us a quick access. Putting a frame together, show you some shortcuts. Can you hear me? It says my internet is
Yeah,
unstable.
you
Yeah.
were a little
And
shaky there for a second, but you're back.
okay. Yeah, by the way, maybe we can go back there another time. When you click on like let's say Google Sheet, there's like a way to actually go to the website, not to because on Miro it's like you cannot, and not everything is enabled. But we can talk about that next meeting.
Maybe we can dedicate like extra time next week.
So I guess the answer is, ideally, we'd like to keep everything, this be like the central hub. Is that what you guys are saying?
That's what I think.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Adam, Russell, Jennifer, Calvin, anybody have any feedback or concerns about Miro and usage in that way, or are we still cool with just trying to experiment and see how it goes, how it scales?
I've got a quick bit. I first off love that it's kind of like a digital physical version. It takes up a space. It's interacted with that way. To harken back to the company I brought up before, Menlo, they do this as well. They make the physical cards, but they don't just do it for like with a client and saying like this card size equals this many hours, how many, or what do you want us to work on this week and where. They also do it for boards and everything, and to great success. So I think it's a brilliant idea. My only concern is that once it becomes like there's so many documents, would there be like an archival system set up for stuff that doesn't really need to take up physical space, but you want a digital copy of it stored somewhere? But that's down the road. You got to get used to it first.
Yeah, just to mention that all the frames, they can get exported. You can export them in PDF format, and then you can save them to a Google Drive. So it can be a way to archive when it's not needed anymore. And the board is really big. So as long as we keep it organized as Erika organized it for us, then we can navigate around it. And there's also the search button. I think it's also useful, like when you search for something specific.
We may need to add a task once a month to have somebody go in and clean it up. Like,
don't worry, Eric is here.
Somebody has to,
yeah,
like somebody has to do the dishes. Somebody has to
put it on
the
the.
here is she'll.
We got to put it on the to-do list
Yeah.
first.
Good call. Adam, Jennifer, Russell, any thoughts, questions?
Honestly, I had no comment on the Miro thing, but when people are talking and they're breaking up, I feel like we should have a universal sign or something. Like, I don't know, like something like.
What you are just doing,
so,
actually. She
so that-
somehow
that-
understood what you said.
that's a point forward or so. Yeah, action item. I don't know. Sure.
I think you created it. Maybe is it this?
Yeah.
We're good.
Gotcha.
Cool. Thanks, Adam.
Great.
Okay, so cool. I guess we'll just continue on then. I want to apologize. I misread the agenda for this meeting. I think it was either my job or Russell's job. It got lost in translation to duplicate that Miro frame in Miro. But so just updating the agenda for today. So icebreaker we did. Miro, that was just done. The second thing that was supposed to be shown was the automatic meeting role spreadsheet that Ani put together. I'll show that in a second, or Ani can show that. Shared objectives update. Russell and I'll do that. Afterwards, mission statement update, and then next steps and how the meeting goes. But next steps, we'll add the Brad's task, which is the business model canvas. So cool. Annie, you want to show the automatic meeting roles spreadsheet, or should I have it up? I can pull it up.
You can go for it with that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I didn't run any script. I just did everything manually. But we have enough for till July.
Cool. So yeah, this is just a quick. I think this will just solve the issue of we don't have to worry about figuring out who does what, and just have it here. Ani, was this put into Miro, or should I do this after?
Yeah, it's in the Miro, just where the meeting section is.
Cool.
So it's always there available.
Oh yeah, here it is. I see it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. So, well, I can't zoom.
You can click on it and it opens the.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There, anyway. Cool.
When you click on it, it opens actually the sheet, so you can live edit it if you need to.
Oh
wow.
Really?
Supposed to.
It's not doing it, but anyway, I think for now it's it like live edited here. Okay, I see. Cool. Is this cool? Any issues? Anybody? Is this fine? Just make things a little bit simpler, and we can keep exchanging roles. Questions should be too major. Calvin, we might need to add you.
Yep, that's true. Also, if there's like vacation or something, will we just how will we negotiate that?
You have to do it on your vacation, obviously.
I have.
What are you talking about?
You have to send one of your kids in to cover for you. No, of course. I think I think we should just let each other know, right? It's a good question, but maybe we can just let each other know that.
Or maybe somebody voluntarily, will swap or just cover for someone to not mess the whole thing up.
So swap's probably the best.
Yep.
Okay.
Or maybe trade. Maybe you could do like like if anyone's worked at a restaurant, you like trade, shifts. Maybe that's what you're thinking about swapping. I guess that's what I was thinking of trading. But.
So cool. Okay. Awesome. That was done. So next week is Brad, facilitator Ani, taking minutes, and Russell, icebreaker. Whew. And we'll figure out, Calvin, how we'll add you in here. Erika, maybe you can just make a note of that for action items. I can take that, or Ani, if you want to take it, just to add Calvin in somehow.
Okay. I can take it.
Erika, did you get also the other action item for everyone to check out the Miro section that you guys created? Just want to make sure we got that.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Awesome. Perfect. Now, next item is shared objectives. Okay. Russell, you want me to take it?
Yeah.
So we can talk to it together, but I can take a lead.
Sounds good.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, this shouldn't be too long. I shared this on Slack. I think based on last week's conversation, I think people were pretty like feeling good about the shared objectives. I think Ani had a piece of feedback that she'd like me to split these two up into two, and sort of make them a little bit more clear. So these are the shared objectives that sort of come together along. If you want to look how they sort of your particular objective falls into any of these, just click on that comment and it'll redirect you to this spreadsheet. And then on the spreadsheet, if you go to the shared objective tab, sorry, 2% to the percent tab, it'll have like all the shared objectives that we wrote or your name next to it. So like you'll see how yours where the ones you wrote, how they fall under in each of these items. One quick thing I wanted to mention, I actually forgot to mention this last week, was there were there they are. There's one for Brad, and there was supposed to be, I can't see where the ones I crossed out for myself, but there were a couple that I crossed out for myself and one for Brad. Like share revenue and benefits equally between all stakeholders. That was for example of one. And I think I had something similar for myself. This one, for example, be considered corporate citizens. So the reason I crossed them out is all worker-owned cooperatives abide by 7 cooperative principles. So open and voluntary membership is the first one, democratic member control, member economic participation. This is kind of touched on the one Brad mentioned, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for the community, which touched upon the one I was talking about for myself that I crossed out. So these are like baked into any worker-owned cooperative, and as a worker-owned cooperative, we should be following by them. So only for a couple of ones mentioned, I think for me, even Russell, I think maybe you had one that was like that fell into these 7. So I just removed it, and they fall into these principles. Otherwise, everything else that you guys wrote, I did my best to sort of put them in nicely here. So if you like, I can read them real quick.
I think we should link to that page somewhere in this Miro.
You mean
the 7 that you just found? Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll do.
You don't have to do it now. I don't want to distract from your presentation.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Anyway, so that's it. That's pretty simple. I'll read them just so we're all on the same page. First one is a workplace for long-term employment where each member owner can do their best life's work in a healthy, fun environment while being fairly compensated. A thoughtful education and community strategy to cultivate more environmentally informed consumers and a greater environmental action in society. 3, make shopping for sustainable products mainstream. 4, create a positive shopping experience in which the customers feel absolutely confident that the product purchased has been sustainably sourced, free, or as close as possible of any plastic packaging, and uses the most environmentally friendly materials and practices possible. 4, positively impact the environment in a clearly measurable way. And lastly, to treat all stakeholders, employers, producers, customers, investors, and more with respect, and to work towards maximizing the overall benefit of each party without jeopardizing the company's long-term viability. These are pretty awesome. At least personally, I'll speak for myself. I feel really, really proud of everyone's particular passions and thoughts on putting these together. I think they're high ideals to live by. So thank you. Any comments or thoughts or I think this will be a living document. I think Russell talked about a lot of these docs being like living documents. The wording may not be exactly perfect. Maybe we can find a copywriter within us or recruit one, but I think these are pretty solid for now, at least, unless someone wants to take a shot at making them super polished.
I think they're at a very solid level. So nice job, Russell and Vivek.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, very good.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay, cool. Awesome. Plowing through. I'm gonna have a good amount of time for you, Brad. I know your section is actually a big one. We should have more clearly stated it.
That's okay. We can follow up.
So Adam, mission statement. This is a big one too.
No, I think Brad has a much more important one right now. Share screen real quick. Bam. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. All right. So we all voted this week on these things. Thanks so much for doing that. Also, I really appreciate the few people who added a couple extra options to the list. Yeah, so I'll keep this really short. The aggregate of all these things, there was 1, 2, 3, 3 that were 21, 23, and 21 points. So there was a winner. I felt weird voting myself, so I just didn't. Especially, I probably shouldn't have added everything up first, because I was like, now when I vote, like I'm going to be the one like affecting everything, and I didn't think that was fair, so I didn't do it. That said, the three top ones, they all contained that first little phrase of either to enable and embolden or to inspire and enable all people. The top one, 23.
Can you zoom in a little bit more, Adam? Would you mind? Sorry.
Say again?
Would you mind zooming in a little bit more?
Oh, yeah. All right.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. There we go.
Okay. So, again, top one was this one that got 23 points, to inspire and enable all people to consume with less environmental impact. And I also wanted to mention that the next two, in terms of votes, also, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but to enable and embolden all people is the next top one. So, and then this one, I believe, as well. That was, yeah. To
Are those
inspire and enable all people.
Are those numbers automatically tallying, or is
No,
it like...
I just added them myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anywho, so I'm glad there was some consensus on the top three. Kind of hit those phrases. At the moment, this option E was the most voted on. So we could either go ahead and use this. I'd also suggest that we go ahead and write out like a vision statement to go with it as a next step. But yeah, if anyone has any comments on that, or if they're really upset about it, yeah, let's talk about it right now.
I'm not upset, but I did notice that the rules might have been confusing the Fibonacci sequence. So I'd propose that we retally after we figure that out. But I'm not butthurt or anything.
Okay. Yeah. With that regard, it seemed like everyone did it correctly. Jennifer did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 instead, so she had a higher weight on that. But
I think that just makes 3 21s, right? If you if her 7's a 5.
We don't have to tally now.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at it earlier.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You see what I mean?
Got you. All right. Yeah. If we want to do that, that's fine with me.
And I actually think, Adam, I think you should also vote. It's okay to have favorites from your
That's a
own.
good point.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think.
Totally. I think totally
Yeah.
you have to.
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Okay. All right. I guess I'll just should I just duplicate this now that I know how to? And
Yeah.
And make a side by side. Yeah.
yeah, put it right here.
Action.
All right. So action item for this, everyone vote again and see what happens.
Oh no, are we voting again?
Do you want?
No, but we also wanted to.
Wait, why would we vote again? Is that
We
Or
don't need to
Brad
vote
did-
again.
Because some people give one to.
no? I think it was just Jennifer. No.
I think just Jennifer maybe should review her voting.
Oh, so I guess
And,
I was saying, so Jennifer did 1 through 8. If you take, she voted 7 on
Jennifer's
E.
here, so we could just ask
Oh.
her.
Sorry, I didn't see her. She's not in my
Yeah.
video blocks.
Yeah.
But if you take her 7 and make it the 5, which should be the next one down, then that gives E
Right.
21 votes, and that makes 3 21s. So I guess that's what I was pointing
All
out.
right.
Okay. Jennifer, are you okay with if we just
Yeah.
assume that we follow your number 8 is our number 8, your number 7 is our number 5, etc.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Okay, no stress. We'll do that, and I guess I'll vote as well. And yeah. Any other comments?
Yeah, if we can add something. After already creating them, voting and reading, we realized with Vivek that it's very important, like creating the mission statement, it's very important to ask why, not only like what we are going to do, but it's why. And actually that on Slack, there was this video. I don't know if anyone watched that. Anyone? No.
Which video?
It's like a TEDx talk. It's called Start with Why. It's like it's one of the more popular TED talks ever.
Where he explains, how should company, what should be their aim, kind of. The main question shouldn't be what they do, but why they do it, and this way people commit to them more. So I don't know if that could actually influence a little bit, the phrase we will use. But if I can recommend, it's this video, this TED talk is like amazing and explains it very logical way. Human behavior. So, and I think it could influence our mission statement.
I mean, just to elaborate. I think this is good. Like, he's like, he's fine with me or whatever. All these are like, there's a lot they're really solid, and I think mission statement and shared objectives. These are things we can continue to come back. They're like,
agreed.
They're not
I'm sorry.
like.
Should we also add Calvin to the voting?
Yeah, we can add Calvin too. Sure. Yeah. But just sorry, let me just finish this up, and then we can add him But anyway, so I think the mission statement can be something we can update and change, just like the shared objectives. But and I feel bad like sharing that video late because I had only thought about it late. But the whole TEDx talk about it is like talks about how like all the big brands they talk about why. Like a business, like a brand talks about why they exist versus like what they do, and the why really intrinsically gets people super like motivated and excited about a brand. And there's like a lot of science behind it. It's actually not just like some guy's opinion. There's like actually biology connected to it within our brains. No, actually biology. It's actually biology. It's like just like how our brains are wired. And so I would just encourage, I don't know, if we go with E, that's cool. But maybe like if folks take a little time, check out the video, you might think a little bit more about this mission statement, how we could word it to talk to why. So just for example, in this situation here, like to inspire and enable all people to consume, I can't read it actually, consume less impact, is it?
Environmental impact.
Consume with less environmental impact. So the way this guy would say it, like he would probably comment on this is like, you know, why is this important to a consumer? Like if they read this, why would that intrinsically be important to them, right? And once we get like really to the core of like something that really touches people to them individually, to like a very deep why, then it sort of connects to them personally, and they versus what we're like in this situation, it's like a little bit removed. Like the why is a little bit removed. It's more about what we're kind of providing, which is important too. But based on his research, he found that it doesn't resonate as much.
So where do you start when you have a?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're there.
So I don't mean to throw a wrench in this, but maybe we just keep it as for now, and we can make an action item. People can watch a video, and if they have second thoughts or want to rethink this, we can take another crack at it. But if for now, if you guys want to just keep going with this, it's also fine. We can...
So are you saying some of these you think are more of a why?
So yeah, I can also I can give an example. So yeah. Actually that's how I wrote mine. I don't think it's perfect. I really don't think it's that. I think there's plenty of room for improvement on it. But I did try to focus on the why. So for example, I said to enable all people to live healthy lives by fostering a passionate community through stores containing the most environmentally sustainable foods and goods. So the why in this situation is like to enable all people to live healthy lives. Like if I'm a person, like it's very clear, like, oh, like I want to live a healthy life. That's like the why. And the what is the stores that we are creating to enable that, or stores and community.
So it's not like we have to completely change those statements that we have. We can kind of change one or two words to sound it more like why we are doing it, not only what we are doing in it. But I think it would be really helpful if you guys would like to watch it, because it's very informative in it, and like most of the time we just don't know about it.
Okay.
I just posted the link for this video on the chat if anyone wants to. But
all right, great. So you guys wrote these two statements after you watched that video, which is great.
The first one's actually the one above that. That's Erica's. I actually just I made it for her. She was asking if we combine two of yours.
Right.
So the last one was more my like sort of like a fresh take with that video in mind. I'd seen this a long time ago, and I kind of like forgot about it. I used this when my like previous company, when we were trying to like figure out our mission statement, and yeah, it was helpful. But
okay, great. Yeah, there's no stress. There's no rules here. So I guess we'll do those few follow-ups, and people could watch that video if they want. Is everyone gonna like revise their voting, or are people gonna write their own statements? Like, where do you want to leave this?
maybe people, if you all would like to watch it, and then what is your like takeaway from it? Do you want to change something? Do you think it's worth to adding a little bit or not? We can just, I don't know, dedicate like 10 minutes next meeting into it, because maybe you guys will be satisfied with what we have, but maybe not. I actually didn't watch this video this time. I watched it a while ago, so I should refresh it also. But I remember I was like so impressed that time when I watched it. So it may be influential actually for the choice.
Okay, great. All right, probably don't, it's already 6:10 my time. So yeah, we'll move on and fix those things.
Well, I mean, what's the action item? Does like should everyone watch the video, and if they have any additional like thoughts about it, they can leave a comment in Slack so that we have some idea of like we want to keep it at E and leave it as it is for now, or if we want to like maybe just take a fresh like perspective after watching it. Is that a fair action item for everybody, or like should maybe one of us or a couple of us watch it and then talk, like sort of work on it as a group, small group?
Not such a long video. I think it's if we are taking like more steps towards it, everybody should watch it. And then I think it doesn't make sense to comment on Slack. Let's just keep everything here. So there's also a way to comment, on exact this frame.
Oh, on this frame. Comment on the frame. Okay. But well.
No, so do you guys agree to watch it? You want to, or you are fine as it is?
I think it's good to watch it again. I think I've seen it before, and I do remember being, very good. I don't know if it's going to make me change my vote, but I'll give it a shot. And I think it's worth it. We can, I don't think it'll take too much time next week to go over it again.
Yeah, as long as this doesn't prevent us from progressing in other areas, then I'm cool with it.
No, it's 18 minutes of video.
It's an 18-minute, yeah, it's an 18-minute clip. Yeah. Russell, Jennifer, anybody, Erica.
Annie fell asleep.
Annie.
No, almost. Yeah. No, I agree too. We can sit on it another week. Yeah, just watch the video, review, make a comment on directly on the statements. It's good with me.
Cool.
And Adam and Calvin votes.
Right.
Exactly.
Get their input.
Perfect.
So Russell, you cool? Jennifer, you cool with that? Is that?
Yeah, I think I've seen the video before, but I'll watch it again.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool too.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, guys. Sorry to like sort of throw this in that last minute. I try to share it as soon as I remembered it, but perhaps.
Vivek,
All right,
did you want me to bring up my small point here? Would that be all right?
Or I think Adam wanted to finish one last thing before.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
My one suggestion about I mean, as we're developing the shared values in this, should we continue and create a vision statement as well?
Well, so how do you see it? Like we have these shared objectives, we have the mission statement. How do you feel like the vision statement would add value to us as a small team or the community? Like, yeah, I guess that would be my first question.
Yeah, I hear you. It just begins to develop the our literature. I say it mostly because there seemed to be a discrepancy between like short and poppy, but we also have all this other stuff we want to talk about. So let's add it somewhere else, and that it kind of could go there. But part of this exercise, I really feel like, is like, okay, you're going to click on our website and you're going to see our mission statement and stuff, and some of that is like for sure going to be in our boardroom for use, but it's also going to be for our customers, and so I think it wouldn't be a horrible idea to like what would the page look like when we click on the About Us section on our website, and just kind of crank that out.
Yep.
I get my only hesitation is just like, yeah, we have the mission statement. Now we have like, I would imagine the shared objectives would also go on like a page like that, and we also
right.
I know a lot of co-ops also share their like the principles of a cooperative. So like that seems like a lot of points. I'm not.
Well,
saying,
I mean,
yeah,
it's that would be more like a narrative instead of like a a bullet point type thing. But that could also come later. You know, it just depends on what the onus of our efforts should be at this moment. Like is 1/9 of us going to work on literature? Are we going to shift more of our shared effort towards Brad's business model thing? So like I feel like we should talk about that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, we're getting up to that point. Maybe we can table it for discussion next week, and like bringing up the vision, like if we should do that, like approach the vision statement. Maybe we can do some research on it and see if it is required, or if somebody has an opinion about it. I could go either way.
Okay, that's
Is the
fair.
vision statement usually a little longer? Is it more, it's more like a paragraph about that goes into a little more detail?
Yes.
Okay.
Just quickly, Jennifer, do you have any experience? Like I know you tended some stuff related to these type of things. Did you have an opinion about it?
Yeah, the video you're talking about, he uses Apple a lot to say like why people buy from Apple, not just computers, but anything Apple makes, they're fans of Apple. And this Y is in the center of that concentric circle map he draws. And it's very similar to the woman that did the Brand the Change book, Anne Miltenberg. She puts in the center of a similar kind of map, she puts the essence, which is like for Apple it would be think differently or something like that, the essence of what you're doing. And then around that she puts the mission and the vision, and then around that the promises that the company makes, like we promise to XYZ, whatever the promises that the enterprise, whatever we promise. And then she talks about voice, like the type of tone of the voice that you would use in the copy. Do you want it? You kind of do that when you're talking about your values in the core. You talk about like, do we want to be like a happy, fun, freewheeling? Are these adjectives that sound like us, or is it more serious, more grounded? It's a conversation about values, I think, is similar to what the why, the comparable to how Anne would say that's the why is your values. I don't know. I think maybe the branding can get very, and the copywriting style can get very, some companies get very anal about and very fixed about, well, anal, it's not the right word, I guess, but about the colors that can be used and the fonts and the everything, you know.
Start getting into branding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my thoughts about this is, I think Adam's right on target with the mission statement and the vision statement being put together. Makes sense to me.
Okay, so I guess, so the takeaway still is, the action item is, we'll come back, we'll table this for discussion about the vision statement next week. Maybe Erica, you can add an action item for Adam, that he'll consider a little bit more whether the vision's like statement makes sense based on his research, and then there's another action item for all of us to watch that video. Is that consensus with watching the video? Cool, everybody? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
Cool. Erica, you got that?
Yes.
Awesome. Sweet. Okay, so Adam is still, I think he still has a screen shared. But
Stop it. There you
go. Okay, Brad, you're up, my friend. You got a
Sure.
solid 40 minutes, or maybe 30, just so
Oh, that's plenty.
we can wrap up at that.
That is plenty.
Vivek, we have to go through the
Pressing
form
button.
quickly. Just.
Yeah.
What
Okay,
guys-
we'll do that at the very end. We'll do that at the very end anyway. And
Yeah.
one last thing, Calvin wanted to say something, and I cut him off before. Sorry, Brad. So
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So I'm still new here, and I didn't contribute to the list of all the ideas you all had for the shared objectives. But I noticed, just from an outsider's perspective, that I still have that there was an area that I see as like a susceptibility, and that was that specifically in regards to employee hours, the shared objectives don't address the traditional workplaces overworking and almost celebrating work that goes, beyond the 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day. So I just wanted to highlight that. I have a loved one who is working 70-hour weeks, working 28 days in a row, working over the weekends, and her department is constantly understaffed. And I think it'd be really great if we added something like this specific word in the green card, balanced and healthy might be a way to address something like that, so that I don't think we should be anti-overtime perhaps, but we definitely shouldn't celebrate overworking.
sure. I'll work on that. That's a good suggestion. Thanks for the suggestion on that.
Is that part of the co-op like
Principles?
vision principles? I can't remember if there was something in there about. I mean, we can definitely add it. I think that's a good idea too.
Thanks for hearing me out.
Yeah. So Calvin, it'd be helpful. Why don't you just leave a comment on that one, and I'll look at that wording again, and I'll just update everybody to make sure it's incorporated. That said, cooperation, cooperatives, education, training, autonomy, independence, member economic participation. No, there's nothing about it in the co-op principles. That I just also wanted to point out, though, if you look at the last one, I mean, this doesn't say this directly, but treat all stakeholders, including employees, with respect, and work towards maximizing overall benefit of each party. So it sort of talks to it in both the first card and the last card, but we can always try to be a little more thoughtful about.
There's a cup here too.
Yeah, Vivek, I really like what Calvin added. So I think we should probably just change it to balanced and healthy. I think it fits.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just double check, but I'll.
Yep.
I don't want to do it live, and if you guys.
No worries.
Cool. Awesome. Cool. Back to you, Brad. Unless anyone else wanted to leave a last comment.
I just wanted to excuse myself because I really got very tired. I woke up at 5 a.m. and it's after midnight now.
Oh no.
I'll see the rest of the meeting as a recording.
That's a good idea.
Yes, and I will leave comments on it.
Thanks for sticking out this long.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see?
Sorry, Erica, I think we're gonna give you that.
What is? Oh, is it? Sorry.
Yeah, Erica, are you saying something?
I was just saying.
Do you want to put it in chat, maybe?
Why don't you put it in chat? Yeah.
Oh, I clicked the screen.
Okay.
I can't get.
Brad, up to all you.
Okay, we're ready? Can you see you can see my screen okay?
Perfect.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure. Well, anyways, we're here. Cool. So I realize now that I've been going on and on about this business model canvas. I feel like I've been bringing it up every 2 weeks or something. So I give you a little background. I used to work at this business incubator in Shaker Heights, which is near Cleveland. And I mean, like it was really like a co-working space and other things, but there was a guy there who worked directly with the startups going through the incubator who would walk them through this. And he was like, oh, guy who worked at the VA, and he used this at the VA for all their project. And he was just like super knowledgeable about this. So like, just like being in the same room with him for like a couple minutes, you would get like all this, you'd become a business model canvas master, because he just like exuded it. So that's kind of where, and then I kind of went on to do some mentoring stuff in the incubator for a while and walking startups through this. So that's kind of my perspective. And it's a little more specific to software. So this is a little bit different. It's kind of like a new thing, but it's a little not just software, and there's a lot going on. Anyways, that's kind of where I'm coming from on this. But to summarize the business model canvas, I wanted to go through all the blocks here really quickly. I know we've been talking about it and people probably have heard of it and probably some people have used it before, but I wanted to kind of refresh everyone, get everyone on the same page. Basically, it's you're taking all these parts and summarizing parts of the business model into these blocks, and you're doing it in this organization, organizing the blocks in this way to kind of summarize, to kind of get you in the used to summarizing some of these things and talking about it. When you do it in person, you usually use Post-it notes on like a bigger board, and it's interactive and you can move things around. So there's like a whole process on going through it that way. And when you put it up on the board, you can then start to see the connections between all of these blocks. And I can go into that a little more. But iterating through ideas about the business is much easier when it's on this board than it is once you get to that business model, when you've written out the business model. Once you've written out the business model, it's a little more harder to figure out how to fix issues with like revenue and costs not really adding up, or they're not being enough, your channels and the way customers communicate doesn't really make sense or something. So anyways, let me go through each of the blocks. In the middle, there's value propositions.
Time in, just
yeah.
Yeah. And so just one quick thing. So and at this, I think will give us a framework to take the next big step in our journey that we outlined a couple of weeks ago, which is doing the sort of due diligence efforts. And so we'll take this information, and in individual committees, we'll be able to like really dig into things like who are the key partners, like, and who exactly are the key partners per se. What channels being like, how do we market to customers, like what exactly is it, like email marketing, is it social media, is it paid advertising? Being very super clear about these things, doing a lot of research and due diligence on each of these items. From my experience in doing this, I've usually like, this is like a more helpful tool for like a broader level, and then you can, and like Brad said, you can sort of see all the pieces on a single document very clearly. But from here, we would take that information and do a lot more due diligence, which would then lead to a business plan that we would show to investors, or do it, sort of get people excited about, based on taking that information and putting it to like a Kickstarter, or using it for a Kickstarter so that we can get people excited and supporting that kind of campaign. So it's all like, these are all key steps in our journey to, figuring out exactly what we're offering customers and who are those customers and so forth. So
very good point. Yeah, very good. And in general, this page is going to be much easier to share with pretty much anybody. I think one of the suggestions, I think in that video you shared with me, Vivek, they suggested giving this to to new employees, just to get a feel for, you don't want to give them the whole business model, because nobody's going to want to read the whole thing. But you can give them this sheet that says, here's basically how the business works. Okay, so value propositions. So are specific benefits, benefits over other products that are available that make customers choose our business. So let me get to, after this, I'm going to go over some examples. But, you know, I think this ties in pretty closely with, I think our values. You know, value here is kind of used in a little different context, but I think the values that we've been talking about do kind of tie into our value proposition as a business. So I think a lot of that's going to be in there. I think a lot of this is differentiating from what other products are in there. So value. Let me. How am I doing on time? Should I? I guess I shouldn't probably.
You're good. You're good, Brad.
Oh,
like,
okay, okay.
You probably have a good, you know, 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
And guys, this probably going to take us a decent amount of time. Like Brad and I chatted a little bit about this earlier in the week, and I think we both agreed this, you know, we shouldn't rush this. Like this probably will be an iterative process. We imagine we want to see how it goes today and see how we, as a group, try to collaborate to put this together. And we might individually take parts of it, but we also, I think we talked about trying to do this together and, you know, at our own pace. So.
Yep. So yeah, I want to go over this first, and then I have a couple example business model canvases I want to review just to get a feel for what goes into these blocks, and then I kind of have like a loose plan that I want to go over quick. And if we get a chance, we could try to do the value proposition. I think that'd be good for us all to kind of brainstorm together. Customer segments. So these are like the groups, you know, like the marketing is very like marketing oriented on this side. The groups of people who are who are willing to buy our products. Usually, you know, it's very loose on how you want to segment. You know, you can go the classic route of just, you know, like females 25 to 35, you know, who, you know, like these things, or you can go, you know, like families, or you can just, you know, you can go very, you know, I think it's very common to go, you know, for like some of the examples, like you'll see later, Spotify, it's kind of for everybody. So that's kind of, they're kind of very loose on the customer segments. I think for us, we probably, you know, want to be pretty specific. And it probably will be tied to a location. But yeah, so there's that. Now if I click, okay. So on the other side, key partners. So this is, key partners is also, is probably one of the more vague ones, but it's pretty much any entity that provides value for us to build onto, to provide, to get to that value proposition. And it's kind of going to be kind of like any other business really that we're going to be buying or using. So it's definitely going to be suppliers, you know, other co-ops and like the co-op community can be a partner. You know, like a bank, if we're going to be like borrowing money or like any kind of financing, there's going to be like financial partners. There's going to be, yeah, I mean, like, so there's kind of, you know, when we're brainstorming that, it's pretty open-ended. But you know, it's basically all the, like, you can kind of think of it like raw materials for us to work from. Key activities here. So this is like what we're going to be doing day to day. This one also, I think we should get pretty specific. And this one, I think we're definitely going to want to come back to. Some of these are going to be a little more set in stone. I think value proposition, we're going to, you know, we're going to get it and want to stick to it, but key activities is going to be a little more fluid as we kind of mature and figure out what we want to do. But, you know, actions that we do to provide that value, you know, it's going to be preparing, it's going to taking products and making them available, like in a retail store, it's going to be, there's going to be a whole sorts of retail related ones. There's going to be, communicating with customers, communicating with suppliers. All that stuff is going to go there. So key resources. This is anything tangible, I would say. Well, I guess, hold on, I didn't actually put that much in there. What's the good list? Sorry, I have notes and I haven't really been referring to them. So again, Vivek had this great video. Anything physical, financial, intellectual, or human resources too also go into here. And I think that summarized it really well. I'm going to keep spinning through and then we can do questions. So customer relationship, this is the relationship that our customers are expecting to have with us, or in some ways the relationship we want to have with customers. And this is, so if you think of like, what relationship do you have with Apple compared to what relationship you have with like Coca-Cola, or what relationship you have with your local coffee shop. Each company is going to have a slightly different relationship, and how you communicate with customers is going to be a little different, and what they expect out of you is going to be a little different too. So that's kind of where you want to define that, and put that there. So channels is how you're going to reach and communicate with your customers. I think that's pretty straightforward there. It's going to be very, I think we should probably go pretty specific about what channels, like if we want to talk over Twitter, if we want to do customer support over, WhatsApp, that's the kind of stuff we probably want to brainstorm there. And then obviously, I think the bottom ones are pretty obvious. Revenue is like sources of company income, how customers will be paying for value, just kind of a list of different sources there. And then cost structures, you kind of add up your, the cost from key partners, activities, resources, and that falls into that. So I kind of sped through some of them. Are there questions anybody has about, either specific ones or anything general? Okay, cool. So yeah, I wanted to get in a couple examples here. This is the Spotify one. So Spotify, hopefully everyone kind of has an idea what Spotify is. It's, it's an app where you go on and you can listen to streaming music, and you pay a subscription. So like I said, software is a little weird. Customer segments is a little sparse over here, but it's, it's kind of because it's kind of for everybody. No, excuse me. I think they actually, one thing about this, I think they kind of flip their customer relationships and their channels, but I think there's usually overlap between these two. Like they have website, WordPress, Facebook, Twitter. Some of those I really would have considered channels. Third-party APIs probably could be a customer relationship. But I think these are kind of software specific. And then value propositions, they split up between subscribers and advertisers. And I think that might be a direction we want to go into. Possibly figuring out what's the value proposition for like members, and maybe value proposition for people who want to buy our products but are not members, or even value proposition for us. I think that could be interesting to kind of do a little brainstorming there. So key activities for Spotify: maintaining the software, managing music library, content acquisition, contract negotiations, all the marketing, key resources, contracts, the brand goes in the key resources, the content that they have, and employees. It's kind of straightforward. Partners, record companies is very big for them. Rights holders, I guess, is the same. Independent musicians, so that's the key partners that they have. Cost cost structure, I think these examples don't really go into cost structure and revenue too much because I think somebody has just kind of put this up there. They don't have too many details. So I think we would be putting more in, but royalties, salaries for employees, operation costs. I found this good one for Tesla. So I kind of want to go through, and I think there's a lot of good examples here. I'm gonna start in the value proposition. Clearly, they're going to have their cars, they perform well, they're energy efficient, cost of ownership is low. Customer segments, it's buyers of sedans, SUVs, premium cars. Channels is how they're selling the cars. So it's retail, their own retail stores and then online sales. So it's small, but I think it's very specific to Tesla, and I think that's good. Customer relationships, personal assistance, automated services. So I think those are good too. I think the automated services is a good example of where, I think it's very honest about the fact that a lot of the communicating with customers is just going to be automated. So I think that's good to put in there. Key activities, R&D, product testing, battery manufacturing, they've listed out a pretty good list there. Key resources, factories, engineers, the brand, financial capital. So partners would be, so minerals, I'm assuming that's like raw materials for the batteries, parts, manufacturers, components. And then here they have, cost structure, batteries, components, R&D, similar, kind of a summary of these up here, right? And then this is kind of a summary of these up here. Vehicle sales, servicing, I kind of listed all of them out there. Cool. So, so this is kind of the order I think we should tackle this in. I think we should take one block at a time, and as we go, we can tweak some of them that we've gone over in the past. But I think I think once we get the values, customers, and partners, I think it's kind of we're going to be like off to the races. I think it's really going to come together. So I think those three are going to be the big ones. So I think those are be done first. I left myself a note here. Oh yeah. So we're going to get through these. I think values, customers, partners. I think we should do a week for each. Like maybe we'll start values this week and we can finish it off next week, and then take a week where we just brainstorm customers together, a week where we brainstorm partners together. After that, I think we might be able to start doubling up, because activities, resources are a little smaller, relationships, channels, a little smaller, and costs and revenues, I think it's going to be kind of, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of brainstorming. I think it's just going to be like we figure out what all the costs are from the above blocks and kind of add it up down there, or make estimates. But I think those first three, we want to give us a lot of time to get a good discussion about what we want those to look like. I guess values should really be value, the value proposition, just to be clear there. So chatting with Vivek, I think we'll go through those, and then we do like a feasibility, reaching out to customers and partners, and kind of validating some of these assumptions that we made, that there are these customer groups that would be willing to pay for X, and there are partners who are really willing to supply this for this price, and making sure that we can make the connection in the middle. So I think that's the step after this, and then from there we get the feedback, and we kind of have an opportunity to come back and like update things, fix any issues. I mean, it's pretty normal to have to kind of iterate for a little bit on a business model canvas. Like I said, it's easier to do in a business model canvas. So to come back to it later and say, okay, well, actually these partners are going to be more expensive. There's not as many customers in this segment as we thought. Or, we need, we can make adjustments there.
Sounds like a good plan.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Any questions, guys?
I would just like to see the first
Let me see if I can go back.
canvas that you show with your notes, just
Yeah.
some
The
notes
one
before
with my
Spotify.
notes on it.
Yeah, thank you.
Get out of here. Why? Okay, I'm done, Google. I'm done. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, I'm using the wrong keyboard. Okay. Can I just, can you read it? Do you want me to try to zoom in? Let me
That's
see.
good, thank you.
I can leave it up for a second.
Okay, all done.
We're doing okay on time? Was there one more thing we wanted to do after this?
Yeah, there's one more thing we want to squeeze in, but we probably can. I don't know if we can do the whole value proposition. It'll be tight.
Okay. Maybe can we do 5 minutes and just like have like a brain dump, kind of like not even like brainstorm too much, just kind of like, I think it'd just be good to synthesize the values that we already talked about and the objectives into the value proposition.
Sure.
Erica, I can put this on the Miro board too. Were you taking
great.
notes off the?
Great, thank you.
Okay, let me jump over to that. So, Still see my screen? You guys didn't go anywhere? All right. Delete my
Want to
notes.
ask someone?
No.
Should keep using the wrong one. Okay. Okay, so let me get a better font. We got to do it here. Go down to, let's see what 12 looks like. Okay, so yeah, so let's just do quick like value proposition. If everyone, I know if we want to go around and like everyone thinks of what we want to, what we think we can offer that somebody would pay for, or if people wanted to shout out like, yeah, I mean like this is what
I can start. I can share
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Like just making it simple for people to buy the most eco-friendly products. Simple and convenient.
to buy, sorry,
Eco-friendly products.
eco-friendly.
Like, yeah. Also, I would say making it clear that our vendors and the products that we are selling have been vetted for some degree of like to determine like its environmental impact. We're clear about the environmental impact.
Maybe have like sustainability standards.
Yeah, like yeah, so that's a good way to put it. Yeah, thanks. More elegant. Calvin, you can shout it out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Clean conscience food products.
Yeah. I don't think I spelled conscious right, but
It's a tough one.
let me get my notes here. Here's a good, what do you think, what jobs do our customers have that they need help doing?
Clarity on end of life of the product. Like, yeah, if I can always like confuse, like, oh, is this thing like, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, like the product we should be selling probably will be really easy to know that they're recyclable or compostable, but just making it very clear so no one has any ambiguity about that.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a phrase hit me: anti-landfilling.
Anti-landfill products or landfilling. That's good.
Landfill products works too. Yeah, but it's anti-landfill. You're helping them not fill big old mounds of trash and plastic.
I was thinking if there's some way we could say that, I don't know if we want to do this, but we could try to create like a community or atmosphere of some kind of community.
I'm with it.
Okay, yeah.
Totally.
Community.
But I would say local because we would sell local products.
It was local.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like
It's
I like
locally
community-based environmentalism. That's pretty rad.
Okay.
Adam.
Cool. I think that's
Adam,
good.
You guys are both quiet. Erica.
So we can come back too because like there's more. So
Yeah.
I
My
just
thing
wanna
is
get
like,
people start to think about it.
gotcha. My thing is just that like I would have expected this to be actually more actionable and more specific. Like
Yeah, I
any
think
one of
eventually
these
we
any
wanna-
one of these ideas could be expounded on into its own business, right? Something that's local, something that's this, something that's that. And then figuring out how to hit all of them, it feels kind of everywhere. Which is I know it's something we need to be, but like
Yeah, and I think at this point, we'll come back to this and boil it down to, like product features that we're going to get to. Like I think this list we're going to use when we later, eventually we're going to have like, do we want to sell this bag of potato chips? And then we have to say like, okay, well, does it match our, value proposition, right? And that's kind of like where we're going to use it, right? So it'll be very clear, like, well, this is like not even close to our value proposition, like, or it'll be like, is this kind of like some of them, but not like a lot of them? Should we, that's where I think we can use it later. So yeah, I don't want to take up too much time. I think this is a good list to start. As as you're, if you think of other stuff, like write it down, and we'll come back to this next week, and we'll kind of pick it up from here. I think this is good.
Yeah, I think also like most of these items in this list, well, yeah, there's a bunch of them. I don't feel like any of them are go against what we talked about,
right?
High level, and I think as we fine tune it, we can debate some of these more clearly and make sure that they sort of they make sense.
Yeah.
And ones where we're not 100% certain about, we can always like leave some question marks against, and they could be some of the first items that when we move on from the business model canvas and we start doing our feasibility study, we can, like the ones we're like most concerned about assumption wise, we can research.
Yeah. I will say too, at this point, I think it's good to get everything out there. And then once we get farther along, it's going to become clear that all of these like value, all the features we want in these products, like some of them might be like just like it takes too much work for us to provide. Some of them, like there won't be vendors, or we can't find a supplier for them. So I think it's good to have a long list now, and it's going to kind of whittle down as we go through it. Like once we get to the end. Right.
Yeah, that's a great point, Brad. I as a wish list, this is great. I just want to know, like, how are we going to do this stuff? Like, it almost feels like our key partners are so important because we're going to be a middleman of vendors and customers. And are we going to be? Is it possible to do this at a scale that we want to do it? And that's kind of where the rubber hits the road.
I think it's good to start here because I think like evaluating partners will make more sense if we have a really clear idea of what we want this value proposition to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, will these partners allow us to provide that? It would be much easier instead of just kind of Googling like, whatever, eco-friendly, supplier is out there. It will allow us to whittle it down and kind of evaluate them better. Cool.
I'm a little confused about the use of the word values, like the value proposition.
So I guess the value proposition is, it's like in this context, it's like a very businessy term of like, what is the value that you get from the products we're going to sell? Like, So for Apple, you buy a laptop and the value, I guess there's like a lot of things. Maybe this isn't a good example, but the value is you get to use the computer, and it's very easy, and it's easy to use. And, you use a computer to connect you with the internet, and it's easier to use than other ones. And they have a high. They focus on design. I'm breaking up. I got the message. Okay. How much did you get of that?
If someone can mute themselves, I think there's somebody.
Yeah, well, I think I understand that, but it seems like there's crossover here between what are our values and the values proposition.
Yeah, I might have made it worse because I think I keep saying values. Maybe we can think of a better term for maybe features, like product features. Would make sense in this.
Well, values.
Product benefits.
Benefits is good.
Yeah, that's good.
Just to be mindful of time. So I think this is a great start. Thanks, Brad. We'll have plenty of time to go over these in the next week. So is there an action item for all of us on this business model canvas for now, or I think we're gonna come back to this next week and
I think next week we'll come back. I think kind of keep this in the back of your mind, maybe write some down, and I think we'll do another dump next week, and then we can start to organize the list a little bit.
Can I suggest that we move Brad's segment to the front of next week's meeting so that he doesn't have to worry about time and get pushed to the back?
Done. Unless anyone objects.
But everybody gets exact time and then a little extra, no? Anyway.
I think Adam's point is that he doesn't want to be squeezed at the end. Maybe something like this is pretty important, so we probably should like putting it first.
Cool. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay. Quickly, I'm gonna over the chat.
Give you the screen here.
I just sent a little Google form. This is the form Erika and I talked about last week. It was well, I just sent it over the chat, but I can share my screen too. Yeah, so it's right here. This is what the facilitator's job will be. So this is the logistics we were supposed to figure out this week. So the plan is for the facilitator every week at the end of the meeting to send this document out, and we would all fill it in. And the facilitator would also send it along with the follow-up email in case folks didn't get a chance to fill it in at the end of the call. It shouldn't take more than 1-2 minutes. Just enter your name. The week mark like the date of the Wednesday of the meeting. We'll just use it at Wednesday as our marker. Your own self-assessment of meeting your own responsibilities for the week, number of hours approximately. This will give us a gauge, how we're tracking, not just this week, but over the course of several months, if we continue to use this. And then lastly, some of the key things that you worked on this week, challenges you had, encouraging insights, team feedback, anything that may be useful. Or if there's really nothing that you want to share, you can just leave nothing in the comment. So like I said, it shouldn't take too long. And the facilitator will send this out at the end of every week's meeting for each of us to individually fill out. And then additionally, there's on a monthly cadence, which just to be mindful of time this week, I can review that next week. It's not urgent. It's just a once a month cadence thing of providing input to each other. For two people, one person to do to provide feedback, positive and negative feedback, or constructive feedback to each of us. So
Vivek, I have a question.
Sorry?
Is there a reason why it's easier? Why is it multiple choice how many hours instead of just put how many hours?
Oh, it's just an approximate and just sort of easier to see on aggregate where people are sort of falling in, versus you might write 5 hours and someone might write 2 hours and 34 minutes. It could get really messy So this just gives us like a general aggregate. It doesn't have to be precise. We're not trying to, calculate precisely everyone's hours. We're just trying to get a gauge. So that longer term, when we get compensated, assuming we get compensated for this time. Maybe Jennifer, I think if you could just mute yourself or. Okay, perfect. Thanks. In case we, just like we had this in the long term, so we can see approximately like what people work later on when we're thinking about compensation, if we do it. So assuming we do it. Cool.
Sounds good.
Okay. Cool.
Annie.
Awesome.
Calvin has a question.
Oh, Calvin, you can just shout out your questions, man. We're pretty.
I didn't want to interrupt people that were filling out their thing yet, but if you were done, I was just asking who came up with that that voting scoring ranking thing, because that's so cool. I'm involved in some ranking or rank the vote groups and stuff, so I just thought that was a really neat way to make a decision.
For the mission statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, Annie came up with that. And it does shift based off of how many you do. Like 5 choices is very different than 10. So you got to kind of be careful because it goes up quickly.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Cool. Okay, so just wrapping up, how did everyone feel about today's call? I can start off by picking Calvin. You're new. So how do you think we usually just wrap up asking everyone how they felt the call went, good, bad, or no particular feelings at all, whatever you kind of want to say.
Yeah, I feel it went really well. It's always an honor to be here. I think the work you all are doing and throughout this meeting is really commendable. And I wanted to highlight that I feel really heard this meeting, and I really appreciate that. So I like that sense of community. I like being heard. Sometimes I talk too much, so I'll try to curb that at all times. But thank you all for listening when I did talk tonight. I appreciate it. And I thought the meeting was very productive. I guess pass it on to Adam.
Hit all our points. I don't know. I don't have felt like a meeting. I apologize. I have nothing to say. All right, Russell, you're up.
I think it was okay. I think I'm just excited to get to building. So I realize that we are building now, but I want to build the other stuff that's cooler. So thanks. I'll pass it to Vivek.
Yeah, I thought it was a good meeting. I think these are all, we have to do a lot of small steps to get to the finish line, and sometimes these small steps feel small, but they're key and important. So I feel good. I think like a lot of people, it was just another good meeting, and I'm glad to have Calvin here. I'm glad to have Annie for half of it. I'll pick Ula.
I think it went good. It went fast, and it feels like we are just opening up like new things and we're not finishing them. But I think it will, eventually. Probably just will take two more meetings and we'll finish it. Otherwise, it feels like we left lots of things open, but it's okay. Otherwise, it was good. Good energy, and it was good. Next one, who is Erika?
Hi. I felt pretty busy taking notes and very quiet. But I was very happy to see the business model canvas. I've never. It's the first time that I see this. So thank you, Brad, for sharing. And it was nice to have Calvin again. And I was happy. Thank you. And I pass it to Jennifer.
Thanks. I thought it was a good meeting. I was happy we got to the business model canvas. That seems kind of exciting, brainstorming ideas. And it feels like we're off to the races, so to speak.
Okay, cool. All right, that's it. So a few minutes over. So, or did we, Brad? Did we get you?
I think it went fine too, guys.
sorry.
No, I mean, I think we had a lot to cover and we touched on everything. So that's definitely good. I'm definitely also excited to start to get to, I guess, more on the like validation side. That's kind of where I wanted to get to. In fact, talking with Vivek, he had to like talk me off a ledge a little bit. It was like, why don't we just do it now? Let's just do it now. I was like, no, okay, relax. So yeah, I'm like, excited to get moving. But yeah, I think it went well. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff we're kind of like it's like there's a lot of stuff percolating. And I'm not sure if it, I go back and forth if that's a good thing or not, but that's where we're at.
Awesome, cool, great guys. Thanks everybody, and we'll send updates or send follow-ups after call. This week it's my turn to send follow-ups, and put that out there. Thanks everybody for your help and participation.
Hi, Vivek. Should I read the action items real quick?
Okay, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, first action item, everybody check the Miro cards on the How to Miro board 1. And then Ulana and I will make a Miro board on how to create frames, tips and shortcuts for creating frames, if that's okay with everybody. And then Vivek will add Calvin to the role, meeting roles notation sheet. And then, okay, we are someone suggested that you added, Russell suggested that Vivek added a link to the 7 principles of co-ops to that Miro frame with the shared objectives. Okay. Next, Adam will vote. It's an action item for Adam to vote on the mission. Add Calvin to the votes and add the votes again, since there was like some problems with the numbers because of the Fibonacci sequence. Suggestion. Everybody watch the video, the tech talk that is on Slack about the whys of a vision. Okay, and then Adam, action item, do research on the vision statement, like if it's worth like mentioning it next to our mission statement. Okay. No. It was the last one, I think. No.
Wait, oh, what am I doing research on? The vision statement?
The vision statement, like just like how, like, because you mentioned like maybe it was worth like yeah, making a vision statement, like reassessing it, and yeah, Vivek, you mentioned that it might be worth it for him to.
I think that the thought was just to be clearer, why we want to do it.
Now, should we do it now or not yet, right? Is it worth doing it now? But I don't know if some research is needed.
Just like you mentioned on like other companies, how they have it, or, but we can leave that one for.
Well, I think we're tabling that. We're tabling it so that we're going to talk about it next week, whether we should do it or not.
Okay, I'll change it. Maybe that should be a part of the agenda next.
Yeah. So if there's any like backup reason for doing it, maybe Adam or anybody else who wants to support or not support it.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, so you do want me to like get some examples and throw them up there to talk about next time? Yeah.
I think not so much examples, but just be clear, like, should we be clear why we want to do it right now?
Okay.
I wouldn't mind some examples.
Okay.
But I don't want to make a task where I could look it up myself too.
No, it's really quick, so no stress.
Well, examples always help. It's just if it's an agenda, that would be actually helpful to have it.
Yeah, we'll add it to the agenda.
Even if we'll work on it like soon or later, because we don't know. I don't know if that's clear, or Adam thinks it's not clear. If we add this to the agenda, that to talk about creating the mission statement, then vision statement. That would be good to know what exactly it is, and if should we do it in the early stage or later.
Okay, I'll in that case, I'll toss together like a 90-second presentation on that.
Okay, something brief.
70 seconds. Okay.
Cool. And then lastly, just this the self-survey form. We're going to test it for a month. That was the goal, and get a feedback after that. Cool. All right, awesome guys. Sorry to go a few minutes over. I think made a lot of progress.
Good night.
Bye.
Ciao.
See you guys.
Good night.
Adios.
Adios.
Bye.
That's it.
Like my